Freedom is like oxygen. You don't know how precious it is until it is too late. Freedom means that you are unobstructed in living your life as you choose. Anything less is a form of slavery. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. The secret of happiness is freedom. The secret of freedom is courage. Those who deny freedom to others do not deserve it for themselves. You can't separate peace from freedom, because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. Freedom is the oxygen of the soul. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Liberty is not the power of doing what we like, but the right to do what we ought. There are two freedoms: the false, where a man is free to do what he likes; the true, where he is free to do what he ought. Liberty means responsibility. That's why most men dread it. Man is free at the moment he wishes to be. It does not take a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. Freedom is the sure possession of those alone who have the courage to defend it. Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that can set upon the freedom of my mind. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud. I would rather live my life as if there is a God and die to find out there isn't, than live as if there isn't and to die to find out that there is. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. The most important kind of freedom is to be what you really are. You trade in your reality for a role. You trade in your sense for an act. You give up your ability to feel and in exchange put on a mask. But there can't be any large-scale revolution until there's a personal revolution. On an individual level, it's got to happen inside first. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. When a man is denied the right to live the life he believes in, he has no choice but to become an outlaw. They who can give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Better to die fighting for freedom than to be a prisoner all the days of your life. Each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, he can only respond by being responsible. Freedom has cost too much blood and agony to be relinquished at the cheap price of rhetoric. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." Emergencies have always been the pretext on which the safeguards of individual liberty have been eroded. If the freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led like sheep to the slaughter. The welfare of the people has always been the alibi of tyrants. The evil that is in the world almost always comes of ignorance, and good intentions may do as much harm as malevolence if they lack understanding. The liberties of the people never were nor ever will be secure when the transactions of their rulers may be concealed from them. What is ominous is the ease with which some people go from saying they don't like something to saying that the government should forbid it. When you go down that road, don't expect freedom to survive very long. A thought transfixed to me. For the first time in my life, I saw the truth as it is set into song by so many poets, proclaimed as the final wisdom by so many thinkers, the truth that love is the ultimate and highest goal to which man can aspire.
Why do you want that dream so bad? Why are you willing to put in all those extra hours? Why are you willing to sacrifice and fight for that dream? It's not for the money. It's for the freedom.
The opposite of freedom is slavery. Being a slave to your own negative thoughts. Being a slave to others' expectations and opinions. Being a slave to limitations.
Why are you prepared to risk everything for that dream that no one can see but you? Why would you prefer to put in 80 hours a week for your own dream just so you don't have to put in 40 for someone else's? Freedom.
Freedom! Because you will never get that freedom working for someone else. You'll never be in control working for someone else. Going your own way is the only shot at freedom. Going your own way is the only way you get to call the shots. It's much harder that way, and the chances of success are very slim. But you have no chance of getting that freedom if you settle.
True freedom is freedom of choice, freedom of others' opinions, freedom of the mind, freedom of negative thoughts. If you want freedom, you're going to have to earn it. Work until you can say, I'm living life on my terms. I created this.
If you want freedom, there's going to be an element of risk. There's going to have to be sacrifices made. There's going to have to be late nights, extra hours, persistence, and most importantly, growth. If you don't become someone else, you will not be able to earn your freedom. The person you are right now might not be good enough for the life you want. If you really want it, to become someone else.
You know the greatest thing money buys? It buys freedom. You know the greatest thing self-development does for you? It gives you freedom. The more you develop yourself, the more choices you have in life. The more you learn, the more you develop, the more skills you grow, the better you become, the greater your freedom.
If you think your success in life is determined by factors outside of your control, then you will never be in control.
If you don't believe you can do it, you will never give the effort required to do it.
I'll tell you who freedom will never come to. Freedom will never come to those who quit. Never to those who give up. Never to those who choose the easy path. Never to those who lack self-discipline. Never to those who refuse to work on themselves. Never to those who seek comfort over growth. Never to those who seek security over their future.
Your results in life are determined by you, your work, your belief, your sacrifice, your discipline. Nothing else but you.
None of you want the success for the money alone. Money is paper. It's meaningless by itself. But what it does for you, that is priceless. It can give you freedom. Freedom to choose what to do. Freedom to choose where to do what you do.
There has never lived a self-made human being who created a successful, fulfilled life by luck, chance, or having everything work out perfectly. Freedom is earned. Living a life you love will not come unless you are willing to earn it. Are you willing to earn it?
How do you get that freedom? That's not one element. That's not one trick or hack. It's a relentless pursuit of self-improvement. And the more you improve, the greater your chances of living a life on your own terms. Most people think the safe bet is taking a comfortable job. You get benefits. You get holidays. But in doing that, you sacrifice your freedom. The safest bet is always to bet on yourself. It won't pay off right away. And that's why most people quit. They don't back themselves. And that's why they lose their freedom. When you bet on yourself and back yourself to win in the end, you are placing a bet on your future. When you actually apply what you learn and continue to learn and continue to grow and keep moving forward with tiny steps, refusing to give up along that journey, eventually you will win.
Eventually, you will get to a place where you decide what you want to do each day. No boss to tell you what time to start, when to take breaks or have holidays. No one to decide what benefits you get or don't get.
You earn your benefits. And the best part is, I've never met someone that earned their freedom who just stopped there. Successful people don't stop. If they become financially free, they keep going because they have that passion most people lack. They choose to work, and they choose to work harder than ever, even when they don't have to, because they love the process. And that's the difference. Most people think they have the freedom because they work minimal hours and get holidays, while entrepreneurs work long hours without a holiday. But most people hate their job. I don't know about you, but I refuse to spend half my life doing something I hate. I choose freedom. If you want that freedom and you're not there yet, and you don't know how to get there, here's how. Never stop. Never stop learning. Never stop applying what you learn. You have to force yourself to get better every single day. It's those tiny improvements done 1,000,000 times. The improvements that seem insignificant as one, but when added up over years, calculate into your freedom. Work until you can say, I'm living life on my terms. I created this.